Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Trent Alexander-Arnold has agreed to join Real Madrid on a free transfer this summer, it's claimed. The Liverpool star is out of contract at the end of the season, and Madrid view him as the long-term replacement for vice-captain Dani Carvajal. Madrid did have a £20 million offer rejected by Liverpool in the January transfer window, with the Reds deciding to keep hold of Alexander-Arnold for at least the remainder of the current campaign. There were hopes that they could convince him to commit his future to Liverpool, but the England international is set for a move to Spain. According to a report from Sky Sports Switzerland, he has finally agreed personal terms with Madrid after protracted negotiations. It is claimed that Alexander-Arnold is set to put pen to paper on a lucrative 5-year deal worth around £12.5 million a year, with the 26-year-old also set to bank a signing bonus that is described as equivalent to a reasonable transfer fee. It's suggested that Liverpool boss Arneslot wants Bayer Leverkusen star Jeremiafrimpong to replace Alexander-Arnold. It is claimed Slot has made direct contact with Frimpong's representatives over the phone, with both parties in regular discussion. Leverkusen are said to value Frimpong at around £42 million, and Liverpool are preparing an initial offer in this range to test Leverkusen's resolve. The report also notes that the player is interested in a move to Anfield. Alexander-Arnold, meanwhile, is currently focused on recovering from an ankle injury that he picked up as Liverpool crashed out of the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain earlier this month. He was left out of Thomas Tuchel's first England squad as a result, but Slot remains hopeful Alexander-Arnold will be back in action before the end of the season. Speaking before Liverpool's Carabao Cup final defeat to Newcastle, he said Trent is not available. He will not be at the final, but he is still to be assessed for how it is going to take. We do expect him back before the end of the season. Liverpool currently sit 12 points clear at the top of the Premier League with 9 games remaining, and Alexander-Arnold will be hoping to end on a high by lifting the trophy for a second time. Every game is almost like a final now, Alexander-Arnold told CNN Sports, because a certain other team look like they're clicking into gear, which means it's going to go down to the wire as usual, which means every game is a must-win, as simple as that. That's the way you want it. You want to get pushed, and you want to push yourself as far and as hard as you can and test yourself to the limits. Every single game is a must-win. Even a draw feels like a loss, no matter the context of it. Arda Guler has spoken out about his Real Madrid future after Liverpool star Dominic Szoboszlai took aim at the playmaker over his lack of game time this season. Guler has made just 10 starts for Madrid across all competitions this season, and he has been linked with a move away from the Bernabeu in the summer. Arsenal were among the clubs said to be interested in Guler's services, but the 20-year-old has insisted he has no desire to leave Madrid. Madrid gave me a plan, and I still believe in it, the Turkey international said. I'm sure I'll succeed at Real Madrid. I've even bought a house in Madrid. I work very hard, and I'm always ready to play. I love Real Madrid fans, and their support means a lot to me. I'm very grateful. I came to Real Madrid to play and be an important part of this team, and I won't stop fighting until I achieve that. Guler's comments come after he was involved in a spat with Szoboszlai after Turkey beat Hungary 6-1 on aggregate in the UEFA Nations League playoff. After Guler shushed Szoboszlai during the second leg, the Liverpool midfielder fired back at him on social media. In response to an image of Guler's gesture, which was shared by a Hungarian news outlet on Instagram, Szoboszlai wrote 1088, which is the exact number of minutes his rival has played for Madrid so far this season. However, Guler fired back with a post on his Instagram story, writing, "This guy is a joke. Isn't 6 goals enough to shut you up?" Guler's words were also accompanied by a shushing face emoji. Turkey boss Vincenzo Montella, meanwhile, has insisted he has no concerns over Guler's lack of starts for Madrid. He is an exceptional footballer, Montella said. We all know his talent and what he can contribute. It is a well-known and generally accepted trend that players with consistent game time at their clubs are usually selected for the national team. However, we must take a more understanding approach with Arda Guler. Turkey captain Hakan Çalhanoğlu, though, has urged Guler to join him at Inter Milan. Arda is a very important player. He's like a little brother whom I love very much, Çalhanoğlu said. I would like him to come and play with us at Inter, although I don't know if this is true. I don't know what his situation is at Real Madrid, so I don't want to get too involved in this situation because in the end, he knows more. Although, of course, I want and believe he deserves to play more minutes. Real Madrid and Turkey ace Arda Güler has fired back at Dominik Szoboszlai after the Liverpool midfielder sent a jibe towards his opponent following Hungary's Nations League relegation. Turkey earned a place in League A following their playoff win, but the tie did not come without bite. Güler's side head into the game with a 3-1 lead from their first leg and were able to secure their victory with 3 more goals away from home. Goals from Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Abdülkerim Bardakçı and Güler earned a comfortably victory for Vincenzo Montella's team. Real Madrid's 20-year-old star, who I impressed during last summer's Euro 2024 tournament, was unafraid of antagonizing Hungary's captain and shushed his opponent during the clash. Szoboszlai certainly appeared to be riled. The Anfield star was unafraid of triggering an online spat as he commented on an image of the incident that was shared by a Hungarian news outlet on Instagram. He sought to put down Güler by writing 1088 in reply. The number corresponds to the exact number of minutes he has featured for Real Madrid in all competitions. The former Fenerbahce youngster was not about to take such a remark lying down, however, and has posted to his Instagram story. Güler made a comment in return, along with an image of the incident. "This guy is a joke," he said. "Isn't 6 goals enough to shut you up?" The words were accompanied by an emoji that had its finger to its lips in a shushing gesture. The weekend's result sees Szoboszlai's national team drop down into League B, while Turkey were promoted to League A as a result. Ties were contested by the 4 third-ranked teams from League A and the 4 runners-up from League B. Belgium, Serbia and Greece also earned places in A. Güler, joined Real Madrid from Turkish giants Fenerbahce in 2023 and has made 43 appearances for the La Liga club. Carlo Ancelotti has predominantly made use of the attacker from the bench, however, and Güler has scored 9 goals in that time. Turkey boss Montella does not have concerns over his playing time at the moment, however. The Italian is confident the attacking midfielder has plenty to offer his nation, even with limited minuted. He is an exceptional footballer. We all know his talent and what he can contribute, he said. It is a well-known and generally accepted trend that players with consistent game time at their clubs are usually selected for the national team. However, we must take a more understanding approach with Arda Güler. Liverpool winger Federico Chiesa is poised to stay at Anfield and fight for his place, despite speculation over a return to Italy, the player's father has claimed. Former Italy international Enrico Chiesa never played club football outside his homeland, but believes his son is beginning to see the rewards after working hard. Liverpool signed the younger Chiesa from Juventus over the summer for just £12.7 million. He had a tough time with injuries in the first half of the season, but is now fit and ready to contribute during the run-in. The 27-year-old scored his first Reds goal in the FA Cup in January and added another against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final. That late effort wasn't enough to drag Arne Slot's team back into the game at Wembley, but it remains something to build on. Chiesa is under contract with Liverpool until the summer of 2028. Even so, he was linked with an early exit, with Napoli among the clubs linked in January. The player's father insisted there are no regrets over his departure from Juve, where he played more than 100 games across the last 4 seasons. Chiesa has yet to return to the Italy setup since moving to Anfield, but he is in no hurry to leave English football. Federico is doing great in Liverpool. He is in a top club that is first in the league, and now we hope they win the Premier League, Enrico Chiesa told Tuttosport. He is there to play his cards. He has a great chance. This summer, I told him what I have been telling him since he was little. Because in reality, until he was 15, he didn't play often, and when he asked me, what should I do? I told him to keep training, not to give up, to be ready when his time came. Back in January, when Chiesa opened his Reds account, manager Arneslot urged caution. The former Fiorentina man helped secure a 4-0 win over Accrington Stanley in the FA Cup, but the Premier League leaders would suffer a shock defeat to Plymouth Argyle in the next round. It is definitely a good first step. But as much as I like the way Accrington Stanley played, we have to take into consideration that we're talking about League Two level, Slot said. It is good to have him back on the pitch. He was a threat, but let's not get carried away. Chiesa has still only played 25 minutes of Premier League football all season, and was an unused substitute for each of the Reds' last 5 outings. He completed his first full 90 of the campaign against PSV in the final Champions League phase game in January, but remained on the bench for both legs of the round of 16 meeting with Paris Saint-Germain.